Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Ultimate Fitness YouTube channel. I know it's been a while, and today we're going to do a few sort of questions, and we're going to talk about workout nutrition, what to eat before, during and after a training session. And I know Liam has sort of upped his nutrition game
as of late
in the last few weeks because it wasn't the best, and I've given him a few tips on what to eat prior to training and what to eat after training.
Yeah, so something that I've definitely had, the training for me personally is not really a problem. I think we've both kind of decided that I really enjoy training, right? It's one of my favourite things to do. Training and recording videos, they're my two favourite things, and coming here I kind of combine the two, right? But the area that I struggle with the most is the nutrition side of things when it comes to maybe prepping a meal for when I'm here for a good few hours, because obviously if I'm doing filming for the gym or we're filming for you or whatever, something that I struggle with is just that organisation that it requires, I guess. So it's something that Sai's been helping me with over the past few weeks. I've definitely noticed differences already. So I don't know if you want to go into a few tips that you said, maybe pre-workout.
Yeah, I mean, try and make things as simple as possible. The easier something is, the more likely you are going to stick to it. So if you are finding time is going to be one of the limiting factors of you preparing food, then just grab something really quick and easy, like a bowl of oats, a banana, which stack up in a shape. It literally takes 30 seconds. There's no excuses really. I mean, if you've got time, you know, if you're on social media all day, 30 seconds out of that time is really nothing, and it will make a big difference in your pre-workout nutrition. So I always emphasize, I won't train unless I've got enough fuel in my tank, and I always make sure I have a good breakfast, mainly protein and good fats for me. I sort of load my carb intake, but the workout meal before I train will have some sort of carbs, and roughly about 60 to 70 grams worth of carbohydrates and easy to digest carbs like rice, white potato, etc. And I tend to sort of keep a lean protein source for that, like chicken or fish, and minimal veg, because the veg does slow down the absorption of the carbohydrates, and also low fat. So pre-workout I would have about an hour before I train either rice or fish, or some oats and some protein powder. Protein powder is ideal because it's easy to digest, and ideally you want two sorts of carbs, some fruit and some sort of longer acting oats, carbs like oats, and mix up with the protein so it's easy to digest, easy on your stomach, and within an hour you're good to go.
Go on, Sai. Easy through. Easy. Let's go. 3 reps. Yeah. Alright. Ready for 4, 1. Right. Yes. Too fucking easy there, oi. Piece of piss. So what would you recommend if you've done that, you've got that down, right? That's one thing that I'm kind of starting to get to grips with. Believe it or not, I just tend to forget. I know it sounds bad, and I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but I tend to just get up.
My belly doesn't let me forget.
Like, yeah, see, mine does though. Yeah, that's the thing. It's really weird. I tend to just get up and work. And one habit that Sai's helped me with over the past, well, particularly in the last couple of weeks, 2022 basically, hasn't it really? It's pretty much just waking up and actually having a shake or having a banana or something, just to kind of get my body going, because otherwise I just won't eat and I'll just work, and then all of a sudden I will be here down.
And have you noticed, obviously we had this conversation last week where we trained, and it was about 4 o'clock when he had his first meal after training. We did have quite an intense long workout.
Yeah.
And that day I had an extra sort of meal before training, so I noticed even sort of 3/4 of the way through the workout I still had loads of energy, and I could have gone on for another hour, but he was sort of flagging, that's the word, flagging. And have you noticed since you've been eating to fuel your workouts, the workouts have been sort of better?
Yeah, 100%. Like just timing things, like we said about the pre-workout meal and all that kind of stuff. Even just having a shake. Like one time I had a shake on the way to the gym, sort of thing. Like all of that makes a difference, because if I've had nothing, or if I've not eaten for, let's say, even if it's just a few hours, then that's too long. You start training for, we train for a good couple of hours every single time. Every single time without fail.
And there are gaps in the training. It's not like full on, but you know, when we do train, but there is stop and start. But it is important to, if it is a long training session, to have enough sort of energy. And not only do you need carbohydrates to fuel your workout, you need to provide an anabolic environment, so some sort of protein, amino acids, protein powder, because otherwise you will start dipping into your own sort of muscle for fuel. So make sure you got a supply of protein pre-training sessions. That's what I would suggest. And after training, that's when you sort of need to replenish what you've burnt. So first thing to do is have some sort of carbohydrates, some sort of fast-acting carbohydrate. I know the trend is now to get like Cocoa Pops and muffins. You want something fast-acting. I don't really have the Cocoa Pops.
That's very social media, is Cocoa Pops and protein shake.
I just stick to basics. I have a banana, so you've got the potassium, you've got the good sort of natural sugar, carbs from the banana. Whey protein isolate. Why do you have isolate? It's just a faster acting, more purer form of protein, and that's it. I have that straight after training. Then I'll wait about half an hour, then I'll have a proper meal. That will be, normally for me, I have 250 grams of rice, which equates to about 70 grams of carbs. I'll have 200 grams of fish, which is about 45 grams of protein, and I'll have some vegetables in it, just to sort of just for the sort of nutrients in the vegetables. That's one complete meal. And when I get home later, I'll have something a bit more protein, sort of more fats in it. So I'll have probably a steak, like an 8-ounce steak, potato, and more vegetables. And that will last me probably up to about 11 o'clock at night, where I'll have one more meal before I go to bed. Normally it will be like a protein yogurt, a bit of fruit, and a handful of nuts. Nothing too heavy. You don't want to be stuffed before you go to bed, but you just want enough to take away the hunger and feed your body throughout the night.
So what would you say to a person, obviously you've been doing this for basically your entire life. I think you said earlier you started training when you were, what, 15?
15 hours old.
Something like that. Yeah, you came out the womb holding a dumbbell. What would you say to someone that is sort of your average Joe, right? Your average Joe that's not going to meal prep 4, 5, 6 meals a day, but still wants to hit those kind of things pre, intra and post?
I would say, if you're not able to hit 4 or 5 meals a day, then at least try and do what you can. Try and have at least the pre-workout meal, because it does make a big difference.
That's what's made the
pre-workout meal. It also depends what time you train. Obviously, if you train first thing in the morning, have something easy to digest. A lot of people aren't hungry in the morning, but you know, just have some sort of fruit, an apple, have something, and it does make a big difference in workout. And if you do train later on, try and have a meal, like I said, about an hour before you train. Have some sort of lean protein source, easy to digest carbohydrate source. Keep the fats low, keep the veggies low, so you want that fast absorption of the carbohydrates. But try and just do one thing. Don't try and do everything at once. Just try and do one thing. So once you hit that one sort of habit you create, then try and hit the next one.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing for me is about creating those habits, because, like I say, I get up and work every single morning, just sit at my laptop, right? I edit videos so I can work from home, but basically, I don't have that kind of habit formed. The habit that I have formed is waking up and sitting at my laptop. But then it's adding, and what I have done is add to it in the past couple of weeks, and it's already kind of making. Well,
they say it takes about 3 weeks to form a habit. So if you just put a reminder on your phone. It's easy to do. Put a local alarm every day, and you've got to do that for every day for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, you won't even think about it. It'll become like automated. So just try that. 3 weeks. 3 weeks goes really quick. I mean, we're third week into January already, and it's gone like that. So.
It's basically been about 3 weeks since I started doing all this stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't start on New Year's Day. I didn't even start on January 2nd. I was just kind of like, right, here we go, sort of thing. I'm not really a massive New Year's resolutioner kind of guy anyway, but just kind of made sense because a bit of time off over Christmas. Like when we get back on it properly, you know.
I think one problem people sort of fall into, they try and do too much,
Yeah, 100%.
too soon, and they change all the variables, and it becomes too complicated, and it's not. They don't adhere to it. So I always say to my clients, do what you can at a scale of 1 to 10. If it's something you can do between 8 to 10 every time, then do that. If it's 1 to 2, you know you're not going to do it, so don't even put it in. So just work on one habit, one variable at a time. Once you should do that without even think about it, then move on to the next habit. Just do one step at a time.
Baby steps. So I think we're good. I think that'll do us for today. So if you are interested in any more tips from the boss man, of course, drop him a DM, and he might be able to give you a tip or two on his app.
Yes, and don't forget, also drop this video a like, subscribe, hit that notification button for all future videos coming, and stay tuned for more great content from Liam, myself, and all the other guys at UFB.
See you in the next one.
That's it. Boom.